Go time.
Okay.
I think what we can do, because drawing everything is hard and it takes too much.
Yeah.
But the what we need to understand is the analogies and the concepts, because that's it. There's a couple key concepts to it all. And not that I like want 10 specifically, but there is. I'm trying to like put together this like top, kind of like a top 10 concept list. And so the teeter totter is. Oh, I'm gonna really get shitty at this too. Fuck. Okay.
You need better
Alright.
markers.
I need better markers.
Or at least a different color.
Boy, it's Chris. Shouting out and texting you right now. Alright, so. Look at what you got here.
Like blue with gravity, just checking.
What the fuck? What the
I
fuck?
think your desk isn't level.
Oh shit! Maybe with this
That's
thing
what
on
this
it.
means.
I took off the legs. Maybe this weight probably didn't help too much. I'll reinforce her later.
I think that's what gravity is.
We're
telling us
gonna
right now.
check that because that is a fucking kick in the
Good job,
pants
Evan.
to say for the amount of time and fucking went into that. All right, take. Okay. The whole drawing and talking thing—that's a skill set we're finding out right in the moment. Oh, see, Tony Gibbs.
Before you erase all of it, you might want to take a picture because it's kind of hard to see out there on the video.
I know what I'm doing. This is no when you put. Oh, true that.
Because I don't know if you want
You're
to
right,
redraw
you're
the
right.
same thing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying, but I know what you're saying.
You
No,
gotta
it
put
did.
them down. Okay.
Yeah, you can't see it, right?
Which like right now, if you wanted to redraw this, like say you really liked what you drew and you wanted to redraw it, I would say take a picture because like it's not gonna show up in the video when you look back.
I appreciate that. I have drawings, so this
Oh,
is
okay.
no. The audience won't. Arguably, the cool thing with the help of technology, they won't see this. It will be me. This is just for me, actually, the drawing, and for you, and then to put the
Like,
picture associated, all the computer
Yeah.
drawings that I have of all of this already that I've done 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
It'll
Thank
all
you.
be
No,
like
yeah, I've already done
pre-generated.
all of
Okay.
this so many times.
Okay.
Like, and
You
then
draw it in
and
your sleep.
embarrassing. Well, like thought of this whole everything that I'm going through. So this is just for me to say out loud.
Okay. Action. The teeter totter.
Each one of these little triangles. This is supposed to represent a muscle chain. And what's tricky about this is that, again, even when giving this presentation, like we can go one of two ways. Do I then attempt to show the scale of literally this is literally 50%? If your muscle system was divided in two, this is exactly what it would look like. That's the whole premise, is that each muscle chain is exactly the opposite of the other one. And if we had a picture up here of the guy, the X-Men, which, well, it would be something here, so I'll give it to our audience member for a frame of reference. How so the one of the practice. This is just practice. Yeah.
That goes in the blueberry. You could sing the intro. Sorry, keep going. I got excited.
It's okay, I'm not. That wasn't at you. They're identically opposite. One way to describe this part of it all is kind of like you could say the original design, and like because what we're gonna learn is that it has changed, for lack of a better word. It is now different, and so as of right now, it is the idea is that the premise is that we're symmetrical. That this is our symmetry. That this game back and forth. This also. You can think of a game of tug of war, where you have it would be something, like that, and they're trying to pull, the in a way it would be, for the analogy of tug of war, it would be, pulling. And if these are the same developmentally, strength, and all this kind of changes all the old terminology, and I just feel like developmentally represents kind of strength at this point, kind of an all-encompassing, because if it's not developed, it can't be anything else, and so you have to start there, and so if these are good, if these match, you're good. This is harmony. In fact, we could, what direction do we launch from the presentation? Do we now launch into a mobility stability thing where like, so if this is, with an analogy of, here's the ground. This would be a pyramid. What is stabilizing what between the muscular system and the skeletal system? And so I would argue what so when you to use another analogy, or for I'm giving like all the grand analogies. I've tried to pick one analogy per concept, and then you have to take certain parts and from each one and master them and then put them all together in your own head. And so the whole premise of like mobility and stability, they have to work together. It's the whole, it's the whole yin yang. Perfect balance. So I would argue that present day practices really focus on, that their practice and what they do correlates more with the idea that the skeletal system is the foundational stabilizer, and that the muscular system and all others would then be on top, right? So does this analogy make sense of, obviously this can't free float, right? So we have to build this part, and the only way this part can be built well is dependent on that part.
It's like a tree in the leaves.
Like a tree in the leaves.
Can't have leaves without the tree.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to use it. So.
Put me in the credits as Tree and Leaves by Nana Neuron.
You never see leaves just free floating up there.
They're not just hovering.
Unless it's like a UFO. So I would say it's this. I would say that's what the present. So chiropractic. This is exactly what they're doing, right? If we have a problem, and it's all about whatever you're treating. In a way, you kind of are suggesting that everything else is perfect around it, and therefore I can treat it And if you're not saying that, you're then saying it's stabilizing everything. Because why wouldn't you, of course, treat what is stabilizing everything? So like, so the house analogy is a really good one where, okay, we can't build on, swamps, right? Why can't we build on swamps?
There's no solid foundation.
There's no solid foundation, exactly. So if everything is dependent on its prior thing, and in this gravity, the world that we live in, that's how it works. So if we take that, we would never if like for the window frame, right? If the wood warped over a very long period of time and then cracked the grass, Jesus, all right, cracked the good Lord.
Glass?
Thank you.
Woodwork.
We would never just replace the glass. We would look at the wood, and then you would continue on a thing going further and further away, depending on, of course, how badly you wanted to fix the problem. But if, you would never just target this tiny little spot and then think it's going to stay. And I got news for you. I won't say this, but that's what surgery is. Yep, that's what everyone's doing. That's what we're doing. We're literally doing the exact opposite. Yes, surgery is necessary for some things. It's not everything, but the vast majority of it, not even close.
Like corrective, like injury surgery, like.
Yes, fucking everything. Unless you're like
internally bleeding.
Right, exactly. So